Women are still clamoring for greater representation in government in Nigeria to make room for useful contributions by them to the country's development. Former Minister for Solid Minerals, Professor Obi Ezekwesili, is very much of this opinion.
But one key aspect that is important is also to equalize the voice of women in as much a way as possible in the decision-making processes, whether socially or politically. It's important for women to have a voice.
Abimbola Oyetunde, a journalist, argues the primaries held by the political parties for the 2015 general election was a clear indication of the marginalization of women.
I think this time around, the men they have not been fair to women vying for elective positions now, because as we have seen in the primaries done by various political parties, the number of women that won for the primaries are not much at all. When they are giving out positions, they need to put women in strategic places, because records have shown that women, when you are giving women such opportunities, they excel well more than their male counterparts.
However, Fumi Komolafe, a media consultant, says though the number of women vying for elective offices are not many, after the elections, women should go ahead with pressing for greater attention on issues affecting their aspirations, like some of these ones she mentioned.
Maternity issues of gender discrimination. People should not be employed on the basis of gender. It should be on the basis of competence. After voting, we begin to push. It doesn't end with voting. We begin to call for more representation of women issues. That way, women issues can be brought to the front burner.
Josephine Efa Chukuma is a women's rights activist who is greatly concerned about the increasing rate of violence against women in Nigeria. She says she finds it disturbing that successive legislatures in Nigeria have not passed the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Bill, which has been pending in the National Assembly for over a decade.
Right now, the Violence Against Persons Bill, Prohibition Bill, which talks about violence against women and young girls, is still there at the Federal House of Reps. Nothing is being done. Nobody's saying anything. It's one of the oldest bills that has passed through all since our return to civil rule. Since Nigeria's return to civil rule, that bill has gone through the various houses of reps. It has gone through various changes and reformations and all, but it is still there. They should not only be concerned with bills of an economic nature where, you know, appropriation and all that. They should be interested in bills of a social nature. In fact, if you go out on a typical election day, I'm sure you'll see more women than men. Then how come when they get into these places where they should look out for those very same people who brought them in, they don't do that? Why?
However, one man has a significant advice for Nigerian women who are interested in leadership and an upgrade in the well-being of women in the country. He is Mr. Ray Ekbo, a former president of the Newspapers Proprietors Association of Nigeria.
Women are very disadvantaged in this society because this is a society still in transition. A lot of men are prejudiced against women. The culture and the tradition of this society are stacked up against women, and therefore the women must work twice as hard to get out of the quagmire in which they find themselves.
In conclusion, women are asking those who successfully make their paths into elective offices to avoid shameful acts, especially those embedded in corrupt practices, but to ensure that they cooperate with their male counterparts actively and meaningfully in the development of Nigeria. For the Nigerian Democratic Report, NDR, Jacqueline Ogoh reporting.